Hey guys, Arden here. Welcome to today's episode of Pro Singer Success Collective. Coach Judy's in the house today. I know you guys love when she comes on and talks some mindset because she and I can geek out on that stuff. And so today's topic, mindset topic that we're going to geek out on for singers to be able to start 2025 and come out the gate super strong are the top 3 things that could sabotage your singing goals in 2025 and how to overcome them. So let's welcome Coach Judy. Hello, hello.
Hello, it's so good to see you all. Excited.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you.
Yes, and to you too.
So, all right, like everybody comes out the gate, all of our singers in the intensive program and in Vocality Lab, and it's 2025, and it's like, all right, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to fix my mix, and I'm going to book all these gigs. And you and I both know how important it is to have goals and targets for the things you want to accomplish at any given time, especially at the start of the new year. But we also know that there are things, and we were talking about what are the things that could sabotage these goals, these targets, as you start 2025 and what you can do about it. So I'm going to let Judy unleash her mojo on you right now to talk about the top 3 things that we notice sabotage most singers as they move towards a goal and some actionable tools that you can do to affect them. Take it away, Judy.
All right. Okay, everyone. So I know you're getting ready to create those goals, and it's so important that you make them clear and realistic, because an unclear and unrealistic goal is going to lead you to nothing but trouble, because it's going to sabotage you. When you say, I just want to be a better singer. Well, how are you going to be a better singer? What does that look like? You know, it's just too vague and it's hard to measure. And so then you end up with all these intangibles that you don't know what you're moving toward. So as you're thinking about those goals, and really we like to call them targets, a target that you can shoot toward. The bullseye, yes, that's the great place that you're trying to go, but you can still be on the board moving toward it. And it gives you a lot more peace and a lot more just relaxation in your body when you're moving toward a target. Then you're really hitting like a goal that if I don't get here, it feels like being a failure, you know? So here's some examples of some clear and actionable goals that you could be shooting toward. Learn 2 new songs by May, or perform at 3 open mics by March, something like that. Because remember that the more specific your goals are, the more you will be able to reach them, because that's going to get you where you're going, because you're very specific. And once your mind knows where it's going, guess what? It helps you create the steps to get there. And those steps, those are like the milestones. What are the things that you need to accomplish to get to that new song? So write out those steps. Those are your milestones, because the more clarity that you have in where you're going and how you're going to get there, it's more likely you're going to be able to get in the car and drive it there.
Exactly. And we do talk about this a lot with our singers, because, you know, it's fantastic to have this big vision, right? There's a difference between a big vision and very clear, actionable, realistic in the sense that you can do this in a time frame that you set targets. So the vision, the grand vision might be, I want to be a full-time professional singer. I want to be able to stand on big stages and perform and make money and support my life doing what I love. Like, that's a big, beautiful vision to have. But there are goals within that. So what Judy is saying is that in order for you not to sabotage yourself by just keeping that big vision, but not knowing the milestones and the steps leading up to what happens and what in 2025 you want to put in place in order to do that, then you're just, well, Judy, when you notice our singers are doing that and they don't have actionable targets, where does that leave them in their mindset? Like when singers come to you and they're all in their head, what does that look like to have a big, beautiful vision, but be in the sabotage?
It looks like I'm not enough. No matter what I do, it's not enough. No matter how much I practice, it's not enough. No matter how I show up, it's not enough. And there's so many things going on in my life, and then I don't feel like enough doing those. And so when we set unrealistic targets and we don't get there, it immediately sends us to all that not enoughness. And so it's so important to lean into how it is enough. And really, that leads to my next one, which is all or nothing thinking, because we either think we have to have it all or we're nothing. And there's a lot of greatness in between. So I really want to offer that to you today. When we have that all or nothing kind of thinking, it really sabotages things. You know, I see singers all the time, they miss practice for a few days, or they're struggling with a song, or they're just not feeling like they're performing as well as they should. They begin to really beat themselves up and say, this is never going to happen for me. I'm not enough. I can't get it done fast enough. I'm not figuring it out fast enough. And because that's not happening in the way I think it should happen, then it's over. So that's that all or nothing thinking.
Right, because they don't see the yard by yard targets that are specific, actionable, realistic in that sense, in the time frame. So they don't think they're making any progress versus, okay, my goal is just, I'm going to sing at 3 open mics in the next 2 months. Okay, well, what do I need to do that? I need to find out where they are. I need to start practicing the songs. I need to book my time out so that I know when I'm going. And it's just like, if you have all those things and you're doing all those things, even though you might not be at the big goal yet, which is to make a life and money and support myself out of my singing, you feel like you're moving the needle towards that because you're meeting these targets and these goals. So the all or nothing thinking, the black and white thinking, is the second saboteur. And the first saboteur was not having specific, actionable targets that you want to meet. And I know there's a third saboteur. So let's talk about that, shall we?
Okay, sure. You know, it is interesting how these all kind of intertwine, in that when you're not specific and actionable, it can lead to the all or nothing thinking. And then you don't know where you need to go next. And so then you feel like you're stuck and you're failing. So the best thing that we see that our singers really benefit from is having accountability and feedback, because lack of accountability and feedback leaves you in your own mindset, your own head all the time, always looking for what's wrong, what's not happening right. And it continues to make you sabotage yourself with all or nothing thinking and not being clear and not following through with your goals. You know, so much of when you're not doing what you think you should do, it's more about the fear of failing, the fear of not being enough, these other things. And so when you have someone that is helping you stay accountable to and really recognize what the true triggers or the true holdbacks are, and help you rework those and come up with those actionable steps, it changes everything. Because without that feedback, it is really hard to identify your own areas for improvement and stay motivated to grow. And so, you know, the solution in all of this is really for all of you. Work with a vocal coach for regular guidance and accountability. It's so important to have someone who is an expert in your corner, helping you identify what's a true issue and what isn't, and how to fix it. You know, the other thing that we really recommend our singers do, and so I want to tell you, is to record your practices and your performances and go back and listen to them. So many people resist this, and the interesting thing is when they move past the resistance, they always come back to me and say, you know what, I sound better than I thought I did. But there's this fear, right? to listen to yourself.
It's one of the things that we have to hold our singers accountable to and coach on all the time, because I can't tell you how many times I've said to singers who are in our intensive training program, in our vocality lab, being like, those who are getting the biggest results the fastest are the ones who are going back and watching studio class. They're recording their lessons and they're going back and listening to it. They're videoing on their phone just when they're practicing and they're listening to it. And there's such fear in doing that, because at the beginning, you're going to hear all the things that we hear, but you're also going to get so much more out of your practice time, your lesson time, if you're with us, in your studio class time, because you're going to have much clearer metrics as to what you are doing and be able to see that when you're not in the moment of singing. It helps you to hear the progress and to also look, without judgment as to, okay, this is an area of growth that I get to work on. But having that container for accountability, having a coach, having an expert, having a community, having accountability partners is essential to be able to go beyond the resistance and do the things that feel uncomfortable, that maybe you don't think you're going to enjoy or you don't really want to do in whatever aspect of your growth you're in, whether it's watching yourself back in performance videos or practice videos or putting yourself out there for auditions, whatever it is that you're resisting. It's so much easier to not be sabotaged in your goals when you have experts and a community and other people who are accountable with you and for you, and you are accountable to them towards everything that you say that you want. So to that end, we are having our first big online free workshop of the year, the Pro Singer Career Accelerator Masterclass series, Master the Craft, Conquer the Industry. This is your 2025 blueprint for success, where we're going to give you that accountability. We're going to give you that feedback, that guidance for 7 days in an online setting masterclass series. So it's 90 minutes each day. It starts January 21st through January 27th. So it's a Tuesday through a Monday. The third week of January. Get your butt in the room, because we want to set you up for success in 2025 and give you that blueprint so you don't sabotage yourself, so that you don't fall into every pothole that you will fall into without that container of strategy, expertise, mindset, technique. We're going to do hands-on. I'm going to do a whole day on breath support. I'm going to do a whole day on resonance. We're going to do a ton of mindset. We're going to talk about finding your own sound and really give you that blueprint to use in 2025 so that you don't sabotage the big goals that you have. So join us and we will see you there. Thank you, Judy.
Oh, thank you.
Bye, guys. Hey guys, if you want to attend our next free 7-day online Pro Singer Career Accelerator Masterclass series, which you absolutely should do, then click that square button in the left-hand corner down there to register, and I will see you inside.